everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. So today I thought that I would do a video focusing on makeup, and specifically one of my die-hard favourite makeup brands of all time, and that is Charlotte Tilbury. And today I thought that I would show you a collection of new products that I have accumulated from Charlotte Tilbury and basically just try them on camera. Now I will make a disclaimer. A couple of the things in this video were things that I purchased with my own money, but the rest of the products that I'm going to be showing you in this video were things that I was sent by Charlotte Tilbury, which was absolutely awesome. Like, I was just so shocked. I was just so overwhelmed because I love Charlotte Tilbury. I've loved her brand for years. I've bought so much stuff in the past and I'm an avid collector, and I wouldn't keep buying it if I didn't genuinely love it. So I will just say that now, I am a fan of Charlotte Tilbury and I have been for years, but there are products in this video that I have been sent, so I just thought I would let you know, and just to be transparent. And I've mentioned Charlotte Tilbury products so much in the past with my makeup looks, with my reviews, on my blog, so we all know by now I'm a die-hard Charlotte Tilbury fan. There's no mystery about that. So yeah, but anyway, if you want to see me trying out some new Charlotte Tilbury products, then keep watching and you will see how I got this dewy, fresh-faced, slightly pink-toned makeup look. So, without further ado, let's get this show on the road. The first thing I'm going to be trying today is the Magic Away Concealer. I was actually sent this to try, and I have heard a lot of people raving about this concealer over the last few months since it came out, and it's supposed to be a really high coverage concealer. And I've used one of her other concealers in the past. I love that concealer. I think it's called the Retoucher Concealer. Really like that, but I thought it might be interesting to try something a little bit more high coverage. Now I have the shade 5, which is supposed to be for more neutral shade of skin, I believe. And it basically is like this sponge applicator, and then you have to wind it up to get the product out. And I'm just going to dab a little bit of that onto some blemishes that I have at the moment, and also underneath my eyes in a triangular shape. I'm not going to put too much underneath my eyes because they're a bit dry at the moment, so I am conscious of that. And then also just a little bit down my nose for good measure. And then I'm just going to blend that in using my blending sponge. Really easy to blend in actually, and I think it's a good colour match. When I first was sent this, I was a bit like, oh, I don't know if this is going to be a bit too dark for me, but actually it's fine. It really does go quite nicely with my skin tone. I feel like the winter really does not do my skin any favours, because I have combination skin, but in the winter I get really dry skin, and I'm so not used to that territory because my skin is usually either pretty normal or it's more oily. So when it gets drier, I'm like, oh my god, what am I doing? I'm not used to handling dry skin, and I feel like my skin has been very dry recently. So that's the concealer on. Now I will be honest with you, I have used it a couple of times previous to this video, just so I could see how it wore throughout the day and to see if it creased at all. Now I have combination skin, I get oily skin, but at the moment I've got more drier skin. I personally didn't notice that it did crease. I found that it did last pretty well throughout the day. I would say that sometimes it did collect if I got really bad dryness, like if I got dryness underneath my eyes. I did notice that you could see a little bit of texture, but it wasn't anything too major. I'd say if you get very dry skin, and you get very dry skin underneath your eyes for example, I would say maybe try the other concealer, so the Retoucher Concealer, which is the one that I actually use. I really like that concealer because I think it's a little bit easier to blend if you get dry eyes. But I'd say if you don't get any issues with dry eyes, or you don't find you have any major issues with that, I think it would definitely be a good concealer, and I would definitely use this if I was going out for an evening, or if I wanted something a little bit more high coverage, or I just wanted something that made me look a little bit more matte, because it's more of a mattifying concealer. I would definitely use this one. The next thing that I'm going to be using today is the Magic Powder by Charlotte Tilbury. Now this came out, I believe, the same time as the concealer did, and it's a loose setting powder for the under eye area and your face. This is what it looks like. I have the shade 2, which is fair to medium. I'm going to be just using it on a flat stippling brush. I know some people do use like a sponge, but I prefer using it with a stippling brush myself. So I'm just going to get a little bit of that and just put it underneath my eyes. It's a very finely milled powder, which I really like. I'm not going to put too much on because I do have dry skin at the moment. But usually if I had my combination skin in its full force, I would put on more. So that's the powder on. Now I actually have used this again a few times in preparation for this video, and I do find that it does set my makeup in place really well. I like this powder because I feel like it makes my skin still look like it's got a degree of dewiness without making it look like it's really flat, because that's what I hate about certain setting powders, when they make my skin look really flat and just really mattified and too dry. I don't like that. I prefer something that still makes me look like I've got a nice glow to my skin, which I definitely feel like this one certainly does. I feel like it doesn't collect in any areas, it doesn't make me look like I've got textured skin, it's really easy to blend, and I think the fact that they have it in different colours also means that it looks a little bit more natural on the skin as well. So I really like this actually, and I also love the packaging as well. The packaging is just really kind of eye-catching and pretty, and it's the sort of thing that you could put on your dressing table or your vanity out on display because it's just so pretty. The next thing that I'm going to be trying today is actually something that I've wanted to try out for the longest time, ever since it came out last year, and it is the Bar of Gold highlighter palette. Now this palette comes with 3 highlighter shades. So you've got the classic Bar of Gold highlighter shade, you've also got a new rose gold shade, and then you've got a bronze tone shade, which I believe you can also use as a bronzer as well. I absolutely love the original Bar of Gold highlighter, which I still actually have, so I know that I love that one. Today I'm going to be trying the middle shade, which is the rose gold shade, because I'm doing quite a pinky look. I feel so bad having to actually put my brush in this, because I feel like I'm going to ruin the beautiful aesthetic of these shades, because they look like little bars of gold. I'm like, oh no. So I'm just going to apply that to my cheekbones using a highlighter brush. Oh, this is pretty. This is very nice, and it's very blendable. I feel like it just gives your skin that really nice sort of iridescent glow to the skin, which I love. I'm also going to apply a bit of it to my Cupid's bow, tip of the nose. So that's the rose gold shade on. Now I actually really like this shade. I think it looks really, really pretty on. It's a really nice iridescent glow. It's a very fresh highlighter, and because it's got that pink tone to it, it's really brightening, I feel. It doesn't make my skin look textured at all. The quality of these highlighters is really good. They're a really nice highlighter. They're really finely milled and they're easy to blend. The next thing that I'm going to be trying today is something that I actually bought from Charlotte Tilbury, and it's the Pillow Talk Cheek to Chic blusher. So this is what it looks like. So with the Cheek to Chic blushers, the way that you use them is that you get 2 shades. The outer shade is the shade that you use all over your cheeks, and then the inner shade, which is lighter, is the shade that you apply just to the apples of your cheeks, and it basically just adds a little bit of contouring to your cheeks almost. I actually have one of these already in a different shade and I really like it, so I was really eager to get the Pillow Talk shade because Pillow Talk is just a lovely shade, so I thought that I'd get this and try it out. I'm first of all going to be taking the outer shade, and I'm just going to be applying that to my cheeks, just underneath where I've put the highlighter. And then I'm going to take the centre shade and just apply a little bit of that to the apples of my cheeks. I think, having pale skin myself, I think this blusher has made me look like I've just got healthy skin. So I think with me, it's just like a your skin but better kind of blusher. I don't know if it would be the same if you had darker skin tone, but I think it's a very light, very natural blusher. I really like it because I think it really complements my skin tone, and I think it really works with the highlighter as well, and I think it's just kind of faded into the skin. And actually I think it's a very nice everyday blusher, and actually I've been looking for a new shade of blusher to suit my skin during the colder months when I've got more pale skin, and actually that's done the job, so I found what I was looking for. The next thing that I'm going to be trying out today is the new luxury eyeshadow palette in the shade Pillow Talk. Now, I love these palettes. I have raved about them for years on my blog and on my channel. I've got quite a collection of them now. but I really wanted to get this one because it came out last year and everybody just went crazy over this thing. Everybody was buying it on the Charlotte Tilbury website. It sold out. I thought that's going to be it. I'm not going to be able to get my hands on it. But then she bought it back just before Christmas. So I managed to finally get myself one, and it's been sitting in my drawer just waiting for me to be able to get it out so that I could do a look with it. You get the prime shade, the enhanced shade, the pop shade, which is a shimmer shade, and then the smoke shade. And this palette, Charlotte Tilbury says that it's supposed to be like a really fresh, wide-eyed, I just got up wearing this look. So it's a bit more subtle, a bit more natural looking, so it's not going to be anything too intense. So I'm first of all going to be taking the prime shade, which is a beige pink, slightly shimmery shade, and I'm going to be applying that all over my eyes using a fluffy brush. Next, I'm going to use the pop shade, and I'm going to be applying that to my lid using my finger. With the pop shades out of these palettes, you are suggested to use your finger to apply them, just because they are like a complete shimmer shade and they are easy to apply with your finger, and I can attest to that. Oh, the shimmer is really pretty. The pop shade is gorgeous. It's really nice. Wow, you can really see the shimmer in that. It's really pretty. Next, using a fluffy blending brush, I'm going to take the enhanced shade and I'm just going to put that in the crease. This shade is more of a matte mid-tone pink shade, although I think it's got a little bit of a mauvey undertone to it as well. And because this shade is quite light, and because all the shades in this palette are very much in synergy with each other, it's really easy to blend and you don't get any harsh lines from it. From a visually impaired person's perspective, that's quite a nice feature about this palette. So if you want something that's very subtle and easy to blend, you probably would like this actually if you're into pink shades. And then lastly, taking a tapered blending brush, I'm going to use the smoke shade, which is a darker matte pink shade, and I think this has got more of a slightly brown undertone, but very slight. And I'm just going to apply that to the outer edges of my eyelid. Well, that's really easy to blend as well. I'm just going to put a bit of the pop shade back onto my lid to intensify it where I've been blending so much. I'm just going to do my mascara off camera and then I'll be right back. So I'm back after doing my mascara, and final thoughts on the Pillow Talk palette. I'm actually really glad that I bought it. I think that the shades are very subtle. I think that they blend really easily. There is a little bit of fallout, so I will say that there was a bit of fallout with the darker shades. I really like how easy they are to blend. I love the shades. I think they really just go in synergy with each other. And I think if you like rose gold or pink shades and you just want a very subtle everyday eyeshadow palette, I definitely would say that this is a really nice one. So I am going to be trying out the new Supermodel lipstick in the shade Pillow Talk. So these lipsticks are supposed to be a really high gloss finish, so if you want a more of a glossy lipstick, then this is supposed to be the thing that you go for, and it's in the Pillow Talk shade. But first of all, I'm going to outline my lips using the Pillow Talk lip liner, which is my all-time favourite ever lip liner. I do actually have one, but it's literally like that much now. It's down to the bitter end, so I have a new one. The lip liner is done because I will never ever do a lipstick without a lip liner. I think that would just feel so weird to me. I'm now going to apply the Supermodel lipstick in the shade Pillow Talk to my lips over top. So that's the lipstick on. The texture of this lipstick, it's a little bit sticky. It's not as tacky as a lip gloss would be, but you can definitely feel it more on your lips. I would say that it looks like when you apply a lipstick and then you apply like a clear gloss over top, which I do on occasion, so it's that kind of look. And I would say that if you prefer more of a glossy lip, but you don't want a lip gloss, you prefer more of a lipstick because you like the colour payoff, then you would like this, because it does have all the colour payoff that a matte lipstick would have, but it just has the finish of more of a lip gloss. And I think that the Pillow Talk shade is just a really classic nude everyday shade. It's a pinky tone nude with a slight mauvey undertone to it. Really happy with that, and I would definitely wear that for an everyday look when I would prefer more of a glossy lip as opposed to more of a matte lip. So this is the finished look, and I would say it's a very glowy, pink toned, fresh faced look. It definitely makes me look fresh faced, and I think it's just a very nice everyday look. Let me know in the comments what you think of this look, and also let me know what new products that you've been trying out recently. And thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Do be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and to click the notification bell down below to receive updates when I make new videos, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye everyone.